Hello everyone. I hope that all of you are doing safe and well during this pandemic situation. Through this particular audio, I will be looking at certain landmark cases on misrepresentation. I have decided to go through the landmark cases specifically for the simple reason that through my last audio, I have discussed the concept of misrepresentation briefly. So starting off, it's important for us to identify that not all statements exchanged between parties through words spoken or through written documents would amount to the landmark terms of a contract. This is because certain statements would be misrepresentations, or in other words, statements which are exchanged between parties in the pre-negotiation stage. So therefore, it's important to distinguish which statement will amount to a term and which statement will amount to a misrepresentation. In identifying so, let's move on to consider how a mere advertising puff will not be actionable as misrepresentation. In the landmark case of Dimmock versus Hallett, the wording that was displayed was fertile ground. The word fertile was not considered by the court to be a misrepresentation or a statement that was made during the pre-negotiation, because it was simply a business technique word that is adopted to attract customers. Therefore, it is an advertising puff and not a misrepresentation. Secondly, in considering the definition of misrepresentation, it's important to identify that there should be a representation made by the misrepresenter to the misrepresentee. In this situation, the case of Spice Girls versus Aprilia World Service is authority. In this case, it was held that a representation can be made even through conduct. That is, by physical gestures, even a representation can be made, and it's not only limited to the words spoken or written documents. In considering about silence, generally if a person is silent, we cannot bring an action against the particular person because there is no representation. When a person is silent, there is no exchange of words spoken, there are no documents exchanged, nor is there a conduct. But however, there are certain exceptional situations where a person's silence will amount to a misrepresentation. One such situation is a half-truth statement. A half-truth statement is also known as a literally true statement. In the case of Dimmock versus Hallett, another case which is different from the case I have explained through advertising puff, in this case, the particular seller had told the buyer that currently all flats are occupied with tenants. It was in fact correct, because by the time the person made the statement, there were tenants occupying the flat. However, the tenant were given notices to quit from the flats. This information was withheld by the seller to the buyer. Had the seller disclosed to the buyer that although currently flats are occupied with tenants, that the tenants will be leaving really soon, the buyer would not have purchased those flats. That amounted to a misrepresentation. The reason is that the person disclosing information had withheld certain information which is vital for the other party to enter into a contract. Then, in considering about representation of fact, which is something that should exist or existed, so that the person called the misrepresentee has a choice in identifying the truth or falsehood of the statement. But a person's expression of opinion, statements as to future or intention cannot be representations of fact. This is because the particular person has no knowledge about what might take place in future. It's simply a prediction which will not take place in fact. In the case of Bissett versus Wilkinson, the particular seller of the land had told the buyer that the land will hold 2,000 sheep, when in fact the land was unable to hold that amount of sheep. Here the court did not consider the statement to be a misrepresentation or a misleading statement, because the particular seller had simply expressed his opinion in making the statement. Had the seller attempted to put 2,000 sheep onto the land and figured out that the land cannot hold 2,000 and deliberately made the statement, that would amount to a misrepresentation. But in this situation, no such information was found. Therefore, it was a simple opinion and not a misrepresentation. Comparing the case of Bissett versus Wilkinson, Smith versus Land and House is important. In this case, the particular seller of the house knew that the currently residing tenant is not a desirable tenant. Knowing that very well, he had told the buyer that the buyer is purchasing a house with profit, when in fact he was referring to the tenant. He also stated that the tenant is a desirable tenant which a landlord would receive. Unknowing the information, the buyer purchased the premises along with the tenant and realized the desirability. Now there, if you look at Bissett with this case, here the person making the statement, the misrepresenter, is very well aware that his statement is false. His state of mind or the conscious knows that he is making a false statement to the other. In such situations, such a person will not be able to rely on the concept of opinion, because he has information in his mind to show that he is making a lie to the other. At the same time, in considering about Edgington versus Fitzmaurice, this is a landmark case regarding intention. In this case, what happens is that the particular company who was anyway having debts had made an announcement to the public that if they deposit a particular amount of money, those monies will be used by the company to expand the business, when in fact they had already intended to use that amount of money to pay off their liabilities. Now that is also not a pure intention, because they had information in their mind to show that they are never going to use that amount of money to expand the business. But in fact they would expand the business only if there are remaining monies. So with these few landmark cases, I hope that the previous audio on misrepresentation would have been much more fruitful and useful to y'all. Hoping to see y'all through another audio. Thank you and stay safe.